What's up, Van fam? Ben Price at you with Vominos Vans, back again today with another video. And today we're going to be talking about plywood, specifically light plywood. If you've been following us for a while, you know at Vominos Vans we are obsessed with making things lightweight because light vehicles are happy vehicles. Overweight vehicles cost a lot of money. And if you've been following us for a while, you probably know that I choose to use Baltic birch plywood, 1/2 inch when we can, and we don't use really any other kind of plywoods in our builds. And the reason for that is the strength to weight ratio. What that means is essentially we're looking at the comparison of how strong something is compared to how light or how heavy it is. And when it comes to plywood, those two things are pretty directly correlated. The heavier something is, the more dense the fibers are, therefore the more durable and stronger the material is. The lighter it is, the less dense the fibers are, therefore the less durable and the less strong it is. So for all of you who are out there that want to stick to using wood, but you want to use lightweight plywoods, here are some problems that you're going to run into. Okay, just for some context, today we are in a van that Vominos Vans did not build. This was built by a DIYer, actually a couple DIYers, and then purchased by the current owner of the vehicle. She brought it to us to fix some things, do some upgrades. And we'll get to this door. That's what I'm working on right now and where our problem arose. But I just want to show you before I get into that, you can see right here, we've got a split in this wood. Now this is a 1/2 inch material. It's not actually exactly a 1/2 inch, it's more like 0.47. And then you can see the builder put a screw in through this piece to connect them. But with only 3 plies here, there is a teeny tiny veneer on either side. So some people might call this a 5-ply. That's really a 3-ply. And even then, these plies are so light, meaning the fibers themselves are not packed very densely. So you end up getting splits like this. I haven't seen too many in this build, but then we've also got things like these voids. And a void like that is obviously a big deal, because let's just say that is somewhere where you can't see it and you go to put a fastener in there. Well, now you've only got 2/3 of the material left over to hold the screw. And depending on which side that screw is going in, it could just fall out immediately. Which brings me to my current issue. Okay, so getting back to this door, this is what the client asked us to work on. This whole kitchen cabinet here came with no doors on it. So they asked us to do so. And you can see, of course, we've got our 1/2 inch Baltic birch, and we've got some nice white laminate front and back. And that's going in. And last night I went to go install this, pretty simple, 2 screws for each hinge. And wouldn't you know, I put my first screw in down here on the bottom, second one up top. And then as soon as I closed this door, that screw just ripped right out of the wood. You can actually see the damage it left behind. And that is for 2 reasons. One, this is only a 1/2 inch thickness, so there's really not that much depth for the screw threads to go into to hold on to. And then, like we said earlier, this is a very light density plywood. Lightweight, which is good because we're not adding a ton of weight, but that light density means it's not very strong or durable. So this door, which is very strong, was just too heavy for the screw down here to hold on to. So last night, I obviously lost a bunch of sleep. I was up thinking about how we were going to solve this problem. We've done a ton of work building all of these cabinets. And here's the solution that I came up with. We're not going to rebuild the entire cabinet. That's a given. But what I am going to do is right where those screws go into this really light kind of crappy ply, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Forstner bit, and we're going to cut out a 1/2 inch hole. And then I'm going to go onto my CNC machine and we're going to cut 1/2 inch circle plugs out of Baltic birch, 1/2 inch of course. And we're going to go ahead and glue those plugs into the hole that I made with this Forstner bit. And what that's going to do is that's going to secure that plug in place, right? Wood glue is super strong. As long as we get a good tight fit and we put a bunch of glue in there, we know that that's not going to come out. But then we've got much denser wood. for the screws on that door to sink their teeth into and hold on to. Okay, so this might be a little hard to see. I'll try to zoom in a little bit so that I can keep focus. But if you look at this 1/2 inch ply right here, we've got a lot of actual plies, right? Each one of the plies in plywood is a layer, a very thin layer of wood. And if we look at this 1/2 inch versus this 1/2 inch, you can see this one has 3 plies and this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plies. And you can also see, if we look down the length of this, there's no voids anywhere, meaning that this is completely filled all the way through. There's no holes in here that our screws could accidentally hit and then slip out of. So on top of the number of plies, there's also the density of the wood in each ply. And while birch is definitely not the most dense, it does have a good strength to weight ratio. So it's that nice kind of perfect Goldilocks zone in the middle of the two. So that's why this is a favorite of van builders. Okay, so now that you understand the difference between lightweight plywood and Baltic birch plywood and what our problem is, come along with me. I'm gonna go model up some plugs on the computer, get them cut out on the CNC machine, and we'll get those glued in place so we can finish hanging these doors. Okay, so actually first thing before I start modeling, I'm gonna go ahead and cut a hole with my Forstner bit here. This is a 1/2 inch Forstner bit, meaning the diameter of the cutting head is a 1/2 inch from edge to edge. But what I wanna do is actually cut my hole and then get a measurement of the hole, just in case that ends up being, you know, bigger or whatever than what I expect it to be. That way, when I go model on the computer and then cut it out on the CNC, we'll have the exact dimensions that we need and get a good tight fit. Also, quick tip for using a Forstner bit if you haven't, if you're trying to get a clean cut all the way through the wood, it's actually good to drill from both sides, the inside and the outside of the wood. That way we don't get any splintering or blowout on any one of the sides. So let's go. Okay, and I've pre-drilled through here, so I've got a teeny little mark right here where the other side of that hole is. I'm gonna line my Forstner bit and we'll drill there. Meet in the middle. So there, now we can see we've got a clean entrance on this side and a clean entrance on that side, no blowout. Okay, and I just came over to the CNC to grab my trusty digital calipers. Let's go see how big that hole is. Okay, so if we come in here and open up our calipers, we can see that we are at 0.51 inches. See, I knew it was gonna end up being just a little bit bigger. So now we'll go take that 0.51, and we're just rounding up, this is 0.0595. That's the same as 0.51. So we'll go into the computer, we'll model up that hole, and we'll get a couple plugs cut. Okay, so here we are. We got my nice 1/2 inch round, 1/2 inch thick Baltic birch plugs. And we're gonna go take these over to our van and see how well they fit in the hole. Okay, here goes the first test fit. And that's actually pretty good. It gets started and then we got a little bit of friction, which means we're gonna get a nice tight fit. Now I can sand this down a little bit just to make sure that we'll get it fit in there really nice and snug. But that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill out the other one down there, and we'll plug both of these, and then we'll get this door hung. Okay, now that both of our plugs are in and sanded, we can go ahead and get the door lined up. I've got a piece of 1/4-inch Baltic birch here on the ground that this bad boy is gonna go sit on top of so that we've got some space for it to actually swing. Don't want it rubbing on the door, or on the floor, I mean. And then we're just gonna go ahead and line up our hinges again. We've got a nice little tab right on the inside that just registers on the outside of that frame. And then we'll go use a self-centering drill bit to get our hole there and sink a screw. Okay, nice and lined up. Put our drill bit in here. Get a nice centered pre-drill. And we'll grab our screw. And just so we can be really gentle, I'm gonna screw this one in by hand. I typically will use a cordless drill for this, but just because we want to be a little gentle, I'm gonna screw this one in by hand. We can give it a good feel. Make sure we're not over tightening. All right, and that feels pretty good. Now we can take care of the bottom one. Same deal. We got the tabs on the hinge to line us up at the edge of the frame. I'll hold that in place and get our self-centering drill bit. Pre-drill a hole and go ahead and sink our screw. I can already feel it just by driving this screw in by hand, how much stronger the Baltic birch is. So I have a lot of confidence that now our door is going to hang a lot stronger. So we'll get everything out of the way, pull my spacer out, and then now we've got a nice door. And before, when I would do this, when I would open and close it, these hinges were flopping all over the place while I was moving the door. And now we can see that everything feels nice and solid. So we're gonna call that a success, and we're gonna do the same thing for the two other doors. We got one going here and another one going here. So I'll go ahead and drill those holes out, glue our plugs in place, and then we can hang a couple more doors. All right, so the camera died there in the end when I was working on this door, but we got all 3 of the doors in and they are hanging nice and strong now that we've got our Baltic birch inserts in. Now, we don't have the catches for these in place yet, so they do look maybe just a little bit out of alignment. That's also because our van is sitting on a slope here, so they kind of want to open up, but that's going to be the next step, is putting in those catches. So that about wraps it up for today's video. Just remember, if you're trying to build a van, build it light. Don't build it light plywood, because that's going to make it weak. You don't want a light and weak camper van. You want a light and strong camper van. And that's why you're smart, and you're going to go to www.vamenosvans.com and order one of our DIY kits, so you don't have to worry about these problems. You don't have to think about these problems, because we've thought about them for you. With that, go ahead, leave us a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.